Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, we got to talk about some books. Now I know you're probably saying, but we just talked about books. And we did. But we got to talk about books again, and I'll explain all that. But before I do, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. All right, so I know we just talked about books, and before that we talked about some other books, but y'all, I just got back from vacation. So you know that means I just got back from a tour of Goodwill and thrift stores where I bought a bunch of books. So right now around my house, there are a bunch of little stacks of used books here and there. And the intern's like, okay, so what exactly are we doing with these books? And I'm like, babe, I gotta haul these books with my friends before I put them up in my office. He's like, and so when are we gonna haul these books with our friends? So today, I'm gonna get all the books together, I'm gonna haul my books with my friends, and then I'm gonna put my books in my office. So before I do that, I gotta run some errands. So I'm gonna run my errands, I'm gonna go home, maybe do a little workout, eat a lunch, get me a tasty beverage, and then I will meet y'all in the living room where I will compile all of my piles of books. We will haul them, and y'all can tell me what you know about the books that I got and which ones I should read and which ones I should avoid. All right, so I will meet y'all back at the house. Y'all, this is slightly unhinged. I had no idea that I had this many books all piled up that we needed to go through, so let's jump straight in and get started. So I kind of tried to sort them, but y'all know how that goes. It falls apart really quickly, so I'm just going to start with Rachel Hollis, Party Girl. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't know where I got most of these. Like, they all came from either Goodwills or thrift stores, or I got them from like online used book, like buy 3 get 1 free deals, but I don't know which ones came from where. So this one I think actually came from a Goodwill, but anyway, I know nobody cares. Anyway, so I say that to say that it was $1.99, I think. And that's why I thought it might be worth it, because it's Rachel Hollis. Did I already say this? Party Girl by Rachel Hollis. Now, Rachel Hollis is the author of that Girl Wash Your Face book, which if you read it and it helped you, then that's fantastic. But I believe it has come out since the book was written and blew up that it's all like plagiarized, and that she just took like bits and pieces of advice from other people and just kind of put them together and then called it her own book and made this whole like girl boss empire out of it by stealing other people's stuff. So I have not read that book. I don't intend to read that book, but I found this on a shelf at a Goodwill for either $1 or $1.99, and I was like, that might be worth it. This one I believe, and Rachel Hollis was a party planner. Like that's, anyway, I was going to say don't let me get started. I've already gotten started on her, but anyway, that was that's where she came from. She was like a party planner for the rich and famous. And I believe that's what this book is about. It's like small town girl from Texas or somewhere goes to LA, becomes a party planner for the like uber rich and famous. And something happens and she has to kind of decide if she's going to do what it takes to be a successful party planner or like stay true to her like small town wholesome girl roots. So, and I thought it was a cute book. So again, $1.99. Party Girl, Rachel Hollis. Along those same lines, I got The Boy Next Door by Meg Cabot. And I have another book, or I had another book by her. I cannot remember what it was, but another cute cover. I think I got these at the same time at the same place. But this book, I really have no idea what it's about, but it's written completely in email format, which I thought would either be really cute and fun or super annoying and insipid and get old really fast. So I would either like read the whole thing really quickly or read 7 pages and toss it aside. But again, cute cover, $1.99. Meg Cabot, The Boy Next Door, The Boy Next Door. So that's those two. I got The Bookshop by the Bay by Pamela Kelly. This one, I think Pamela Kelly's a big name, right? This one is, and a bunch of these are like, I think I kind of know what they're about. This is a kind of think I know what it's about. I believe it's, our main characters are like grown women with grown kids, age women. And I believe that they're like friends from way back when. And one of them finds out that her husband's cheating on her, or like he was cheating on her, or she leaves him because he cheated on her or something. And she goes home to Cape Cod, maybe, like to clear her head. And she takes her grown daughter with her and somehow ends up like hanging out with her friend, best friend, childhood friend, somebody who is also like a grown woman with a daughter. So maybe there's that like friendship between women of like the two generations. I'm kind of filling in things there because I don't know a whole lot about it, but that's all I know. And I think it got like really high Goodreads. I tried to like actually look on Goodreads and only get books with good Goodreads numbers, because y'all saw some of the books I picked over Christmas that weren't all that, like, oh my word, that freaking Wreck the Halls thing. We'll talk about that once we get sort of further down the stack. But that was awful, and I don't think I looked that up. I think I seem to recall not looking that up on Goodreads because the cover was so cute, I just bought it, and it was very bad. So I think I tried to look these up before I bought them. And look how pretty. So it does have a pretty cover, and I think it actually got good reviews on Goodreads. So The Bookshop by the Bay. Y'all, as always, if you've read any of these, if you know anything about the authors, somebody warned me, sorry, I can't remember who it was. Somebody warned me about Icebreaker, that it's steamy, and they know that I've complained about steaminess in books, so thank you for that. And y'all, any of them, like if you have any warnings about any of these books that you're like, if you didn't like that, you're definitely not going to like this, please let me know. So that's that. The Secret Keeper. You think I didn't know anything about this? I really don't know much about this one. So I believe, one thing I do believe is that this one, it takes us through time from like pre-World War II, like through the 60s, maybe to modern day. And I believe that our main character, whose name I don't know, Laurel, maybe? I just saw the name Laurel on the back, so I'm going to go with that. Laurel, I think, when she was young, saw her mom commit a crime. And I think she, for some reason, as an adult, she goes back and like revisits that and tries to figure out what happened. And maybe, like, remember the book that we read, Home Before Dark? Was that the Riley Sager one? It was one of the ones that scared the bejesus out of me. But our main character went back to the house that she didn't grow up in. She only spent like 22 days in it because her parents pulled her out of there because they said it was haunted. And so she spent her whole life, like she grew up sort of around the memory or the knowledge of that house. And she goes back as an adult and sort of sorts through her thoughts and her feelings of her parents, and specifically her dad, around that house. I think this is that same kind of thing. Like Laurel, if that's her name, we're calling her Laurel. Our main character, I think, goes back and sorts her memories or her understanding of who her mom was, her mom as a person, in relation to this crime that she saw her mom commit. Maybe. And she becomes involved, or somehow other people become involved in this whole shenanigan, like trying to figure, can you make shenanigans singular? This whole shenanigan? Her shenanigating. These other people become involved in that. So she becomes intertwined with them some kind of how. The Secret Keeper. And Kate Morton, did she write something about a garden like The Secret Garden or something? Is it? Because I keep looking at this thinking it's garden, but it's not garden. It's The Secret Keeper. And y'all, look how pretty this is. And look at it's just, I just think it's lovely. So if and when we read this one, we're definitely we'll probably end up reading the Kindle book too, because y'all know I can't keep up with a book. But we're going to read this as well because it's very pretty and it just feels good. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I have avoided this book for, how old am I? I've avoided this book for at least 20 years. The Fault in Our Stars has been either a miniseries or a movie. It's been a book since forever. And it's about, y'all, seriously, it's about, I think the whole book, like from the jump of the, and everybody's probably seen the movie and read this book, so you're like, dude, why are you even talking about that? We all know this book, we've read it, you are the last person to the party, and all the hors d'oeuvres are cold. I know, but I'm gonna tell you anyway, like I've just discovered this. Or like nobody knows it and I'm the first to discover it. So our main character is I think she's either a teenager or a tweenager who is diagnosed with terminal cancer. I need a candle for this. I can't do this without a candle. So she's diagnosed with terminal cancer. And like I said, I think she's had the diagnosis through the whole book. And she meets, let me not set my carpet on fire. She meets somebody at like a Camp Sunshine, like one of those camps for kids with terminal cancer. So he's got the cancer too. And he like changes her outlook on life. So you can tell I haven't read this book. Somehow I got around ever teaching this. I don't know how, but I haven't seen the movie, nothing. Anyway, The Fault in Our Stars. I'm going to set this over here. We might or might not read it, but I was like, you know what? I should at least own it. I've never even owned this book before. So, and it's a lovely copy. I think this came from that $1.99 Goodwill store. With Sister Gayla, was I with y'all? We might not have looked at each other's books because we were buying books together anyway. So that's those. The Book Woman of Troublesome Creek. My mama told me I would like this book. She asked me if I had read it, and I had not. And then it came up somewhere. I don't know where I get this. We're getting into the I don't know where I got these is, but it came up somewhere, and I was like, oh, mama told me I needed to read that. I believe it's about women in Appalachia, or a woman in Appalachia who takes books out to like the mountain people. And something about I don't know if we can see it in the picture, but there's something about her skin pigmentation. Like she has some kind of something that causes her to be darkly pigmented. Like she's white, she's not African American or anything, but her skin is darkly pigmented because of like something that she has. And through the course of the book, I think she gets cured of it. So her skin is no longer darkly pigmented. And I think part of like through the course of the book, we see how the way that people treat her changes because of the difference in her skin pigmentation. So, The Book Woman of Troublesome Creek by Kim Michelle Richardson. Mama said, read this book. I'm going to read this book. I'm going to give y'all a second to judge me. First of all, this is yellow and I need to get it away from my face. You're probably like, Danielle, haven't you bought that book like 4 times in the past 8 months and not read it? Yes. Yes, I have. Here's the dealio. This is part of my books that I need to read because I think I don't like the author series, because there are some authors that people like and I've read books by them and I'm like, not a huge fan. And this isn't, sorry, there was a bent page in here and I couldn't leave it be. I read this book about a zillion years ago. I feel like I think it was longer ago than it was. No, it was like 20 years ago. And I didn't like it. And a lot of people really like it. So I want to read it. I want to read it again. But the other copy that I have, or copies that I have, are trade paperback. So they're like this big and this thick. And I wanted the not trade paperback one. So y'all, I'm going to take all the other copies of it that I have and put them back in circulation. I'm going to just take them to the Goodwill or somewhere. Or maybe I'll donate them to the church where I went to the book sale. But anyway, because I only need one copy and this is the one that I want. So quit judging me. I'm not hoarding copies of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So that's that. Outlander, I think everybody has read all of these. I have not. I don't know why I feel like I want to read this. I don't like reading about war stuff. I don't like war movies. I don't like war anythings. And I think that's what these are about. Like, this series is, okay, so here's what happened. I found a book at one of the Goodwills by my mom's house. It was this gorgeous hardcover book, like completely pristine, had the dust jacket, whole thing. It was like, I don't know, $1. No, it was a hardcover. So it was $2.92. Well, I didn't buy it because it was one of the Outlander books, and it was literally like book number 9 in the series. There are like 12 books in this series. I don't know what made me think I wanted to start reading it. And aren't they, the Outlanders, aren't they like, in the, my voice just went up 4 octaves. I don't know what just happened. Sorry. Getting anxious about reading a 12-book series that I don't have to read if I don't want to. But aren't they about fighting in some clan wars in Scotland in like the, I don't know, 1700s or something? I don't know. Anyway, Outlander. I got, at least I got the first one in the series. So I got Outlander. Midnight at the Blackbird Cafe. I'm going to give y'all a second to just ogle, stare at, molest with your eyeballs this gorgeous cover. I believe, so I know that this is set in like small town Alabama, and I think that our main character, I don't know her name, I'm not going to look for it, but I think she goes home to like maybe bury her granny who ran the cafe, owned the cafe, something about the cafe. So she thinks she's going to like show up, close the cafe, and be done with it, move on with her life. And of course it doesn't go that way. So a story about a cafe in small town Alabama, yes, thank you. I am in like Flynn. That's not, I know that's not how that saying works. I am in like, I'm on it, doggone it. That's the one. So we are going to the Blackbird Cafe, y'all. Archer's voice. I mean, it's called A Love Story. Y'all, you know I'm going to be ugly crying my way through this one. I think, and this is another one of those, I get the feeling everybody has read, like everybody that reads sappy love stories has read this already. So y'all warn me, please, if this is one that I need to be warned about. I believe it is about, I think our main character goes to Maine. Our main character goes to Maine. Something has happened to her, and so she goes to Maine to like settle down and regroup. And she meets this dude, Archer, who has no voice. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's like physical injury. I assume it's like an emotional thing that causes him not to speak. And like they heal together, I think. I don't know. Anyway, sappy romance, love story. So excited. So excited for that one. Missing You is a, I assume it has to be a police procedural, right? Y'all look at that cover. I think, I don't really know anything about it. I think it's maybe a profiler, a female, what do I think I know? I don't think I know anything about it. I think our female main character is a police profiler person, and she's trying to solve, I don't know, police procedural. I think I knew something about it before, but now I don't remember what I think I knew. So I'm not even going to try to fake my way through this one. Nor am I going to try to fake my way through anything about this one except, y'all, look at that yummy, yummy, sexy, dirty white boy right there. This, it's called Outlaw by Nicole James. Look at the print. This has to be a like self-published, like independent publisher kind of book. I don't know anything about it except with a cover like this, it has got to be Sons of Anarchy put to print, right? I'll let you know. It's an Evil Dead, I almost said mixed story. Good Lord, Danielle. An Evil Dead MC story. So yes, thank you. I'm sure it's going to be awful. I'm sure they're going to do very bad things to people. Just like Sons of Anarchy, I am down for it. So I think you kind of have to like check all your sensibilities at the door when you start reading. And like I said, I'm down. I say I'm down for it. I don't know that I'm down for it. We'll see what happens when I actually start reading it. Because, yeah, anyway. Wicked Lovely and Ink Exchange are by Melissa Marr. They are her early books. They're from like the early 2000s, I think. And they're obviously about fairies. I think Ink Exchange, is about a girl who's like sort of like strangely attracted to a tattoo. So she gets the tattoo and it binds her to a not very nice fairy. If they're not nice, does that make them fae? I really don't know the difference. I am dabbling in things I know nothing about. And then Wicked Lovely, I don't really know what this one's about. Not that I knew what the other one was about. But I think this is the first one, I think. And I think this one just introduces us to the fairy world and sort of like, I don't know. I think this is like the world building introduces us to it. And then this is where things start to happen. So again, look at the pretty little books. So that's those. The Poet X, I know nothing about, literally nothing about, but it's a book of poetry. I don't know if it tells a story through the poetry. It won a National Book Award, so got that. Now, y'all, this is our last stack, and it is a virtual murderer's row of authors here. We got Frida McFadden, The Housemaid. This is about a housemaid. I know, and y'all, I know, everybody's read these. So it's a maid who, something happens, and the people end up like locking her in her room. That's why she's peeking through the door. And everybody loves this book. Everybody loves Frida McFadden. Everybody loves this book, so I finally got it. And I should have been saying this all along, but I don't know others of these that are. This is on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, I think a lot of Frida McFadden stuff is on there for freebies on your Kindle Unlimited. So The Housemaid, that we're going to read. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I have this on Kindle. I think I got it from like BookBub or one of those for like $1.99. So I grabbed the book because y'all know how I like to flip back and forth. But this is about, I think this is one of those where the main character is going to go back and solve an already solved murder. Like they think that whatever like the solution to the murder was isn't for real. So they're going to go back and find out what really happened. I think it's like somebody in their small town was killed, maybe somebody from their high school. It's YA. Well, it's supposedly YA, which a lot of stuff, we've talked about this before, a lot of stuff that's considered YA or like marketed as YA, y'all, when I think of young adults, I think of like high schoolers, like teenagers. So a lot of stuff that's marketed as young adult, I don't want my high school students reading, or at least I don't want to read with them. But anyway, that's a rabbit hole. That's a tangent we can get off on another day. I don't know if this is marketed as young adult. So I will let you know if it's one of those that like things happen that you're like, I don't want to talk about this with my kids. Or at least I don't want to talk about it with somebody. I don't want to talk about it with y'all's kids. So anyway, Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It ends with us. Y'all, I need to stop just buying Colleen Hoover books and actually read one of them. So this might be the one. And it ends with us. I know nothing about it except that I think her books have spice in them, right? Like there are like spicy scenes and folks are always crying. Like you always see people talking about her books, like they're all boo-hooing and stuff. So this was definitely a Goodwill, like $1.91 pickup. Was that Goodwill? Yes. $1.91 buy at the Goodwill. One True Loves. I just whacked my dog in the head. One True Loves. Taylor Jenkins Reid. Y'all know how I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one is the one where, oh, I know what this one is. So our main characters were like high school sweethearts. They get married. They have like the perfect life. Everything's all great until I think he ends up like going missing. So she moves back home to their small town to like sort of regroup, get her stuff back together. falls in love again, and then lo and behold, anybody that's ever watched a soap opera knows what happens. So she falls in love again, and then the missing husband shows back up. So one true loves. So now she has two true loves and has to figure out what to do. I think. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. So one true loves, Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is a most definitely gonna read. All right, y'all, let's talk Lucy's Score. Now, this is the only thing that makes me not hate that horrible Wreck the Halls book as much as I should, is that, remember when I found it on the Amazons, down at the bottom, it recommended The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. So I bought that, and then like 2 pages in, I realized that that was book 2 of a series, and the first book was Mr. Fix-It. So I went back and read Mr. Fix-It, loved that, read The Christmas Fix, loved that. So now I love Lucy Score, and I don't hate, is it Tessa Bailey, who wrote Wreck the Halls as much as I should, because she led me to my love of Lucy Score. These are both fake dating, just coincidentally. This one, I think, is a hottie McHottie who needs a fake girlfriend to fool his family. And this one, so this is The Boy Needs the Fake. This is a rock bottom girl. So our FMC, our female main character, goes home to her like small town where she grew up, where she was just the absolute pariah, but she has to, like, she has no choice. She has to go back there and ends up, I don't know, something happens and she ends up fake dating like the track coach or something. So he's going to teach her to coach and she's going to teach him to be a boyfriend or something. I don't know. But both fake dating, which from my vast knowledge of Lucy Score that I have from reading 2 of her, 24 books, I know that they're both going to turn into actual real romances. So Rock Bottom Girl and Pretend You're Mine by Lucy Score. And finally, last but most definitely not least, y'all, we're going to get into, we're actually going to do this. Cassandra Clare and Sarah J. Maas. ACOTAR, Court of Thorns and Roses. Y'all, I have Googled every list of order in which to read Sarah J. Maas books because I want to start with this one. And they all say to start with the Broken Glass? No, that's not right. But whatever it is, something about glass. Throne of Glass? I don't know. I get them so confused. So I'm an idiot, y'all. I seriously had, I knew they were 2 separate people, but I think I had like the worlds of Sarah J. Maas and Cassandra Clare like all mixed up in my head. Because remember, I bought the book that's seriously like number 12 in the series, the chick with the red hair. I can't remember the name of the book, but it's something about leaves. I'll put it here somewhere. But anyway, I bought it because it was so beautiful. And it's the first in the series, but it's like really the 12th in the series. And I think that's the Cassandra Clare book. So I was like, well, I want to read that book. So I'm finally going to start reading. Like, I'm finally going to get the books that I need to be able to read that book. So I got A Court of Thorns and Roses. That not only is it not the first of all the books that you have to read, it's not even the right author. So, yeah. Anyway, I got A Court of Thorns and Roses. And do y'all remember when I got I should show you, but it's so filthy, I don't even want to touch it. I bought the set of A Court of Thorns and Roses. I bought it off Amazon. Like, it's not like I got it, well, I didn't think I was getting it somewhere shady. And y'all, it is so shady. It's like printed on like newspaper and like some of the pages are out of order and you can totally tell some dude printed it in his garage. I'll show you one day. I'm not going to show you right now because seriously I don't want to touch it because it's dirty like newsprint. But yeah, so I own a box set of A Court of Thorns and Roses, which I will not even touch. Like, I have the whole set, but so now I'm going back and buying one book at a time, the actual books. So I got that, Court of Thorns, and I think I bought this like full price off of Amazon. And then A Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, which I think this really is where this series starts. And this one, I think, was like yeah, this is one of those buy 3, get 1 free or somethings off of the eBays. So that's it. And y'all, I'm gonna start one or the other of these, either the Cassandra Clare, like that 15 book long series, or this one isn't much better because this one goes into those city ones, is it City of Glass? I'm obsessed with glass today, I think. Like Broken Glass, City of Glass, something. Those big, thick books, of which I own one. But Court of Glass, a Court of something. It's City of something. Anyway. But yeah, you got to read like probably close to 12 books to get to those. And those are so thick, it's like 3 books each anyway. I'm going to get out of here, but yes, y'all, I will start these. I probably won't finish either series this year, but I will start either Court of Thorns and Roses or Clockwork Angel, the Infernal Devices series, which maybe it won't be that one, because if I do, much like I haven't read Caraval yet, because I know that every time I talk about it, I'm going to call it Carnival. If you know, you know. Same thing. If I try to do this one, every time I try to say Infernal Devices, I'm going to say Eternal Devices. So maybe not this one. Anyway, y'all, that is seriously it. I let the felons out, so I need to go get them before they run off and annoy the neighbors. But y'all, that's it. That is all my books. Let me know what you know about any of them. If you have any recommendations for where to start, and most specifically this. Do I need to back up and do whatever the ones before these are? Do I need to do that before I jump in, or can I just jump in at A Court of Thorns and Roses and work my way out? Help me out. I need to know. Y'all let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we're most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.